Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of Spencer's Rocket League School for Scrubs. On this episode, I'm going to be showing you guys aerials and the different ways that you can improve your aerials. After this video in the playlist, you're also going to find multiple videos from pros describing the various mechanics in depth that I am going to mention in the video. So, without further ado, let's get started. We're going to hop into free play. Okay. And we're going to continue from where we left off, doing our warm-ups, driving around the field, hitting the ball. Okay. And I'm going to mention the different mechanics first this time, because there's various different ways that you're going to want to practice them. So one of the most important mechanics that you can learn while practicing aerials is the fast aerial. And that's something that a lot of people overlook until they get the higher ranks, but it's entirely crucial when you're going up for an aerial at the same time as another player. Because if you're both going up at the same time, you're going to have to beat them. And if they're doing this and you're not going to be able to beat them to the ball. So I'm going to show some examples and how you can practice the fast aerial. And then, as I said before, I'm going to have a follow-up video showing you the fast aerial tutorial as well as the other tutorials for these mechanics I'm showing you. So, what I used to do in order to learn the fast aerial is I would just sit in free play. I wouldn't even hit the ball. And I'd practice the fast aerial. Reset, practice the fast aerial. Hit the ceiling, reset. Practice fast aerial, hit the ceiling. Over and over again until you feel like you get the hang of it. And then once you can start doing it without backflipping, that was a bad one. Once you can start doing it without backflipping, that's when you can really start moving around the pitch and doing it. Again, without the ball, you don't need the ball for this. But this is kind of how I learned how to do the fast aerials, right? Now, I'll show you the difference between a fast aerial and a normal aerial. So, a normal aerial will look something like this, with just one jump, getting up to the ceiling, right? Or if you do another double jump, some people do it like this. Okay, a little faster, and then some people go like this. Also a little bit faster, but not as fast as you could be. So the fast aerial, what you're going to be doing here is you're going to hold your analog stick back, jump, and jump again while you're boosting all in one motion. That's the most important part. You want to boost from the very start, and you double jump very quickly as you're lifting the nose of your car upwards. And I don't know if you noticed, but it's much faster than it was doing the normal double jump aerial. See how slow this is? I didn't even go straight up and I still got up to the ceiling faster. So that's basically how you're gonna do a fast aerial. Again, I have a fire burner tutorial, and that's actually the tutorial that helped me the most when learning fast aerials. So I hope you enjoyed that video as well after this. The next thing that you're going to do is practice your aerial control. This is basically the main part of going for aerials and essentially just learning how to control your car in the air so you can be more accurate. So after you learn the fast aerial, you're going to want to just hover. You want to see how long you can hover. If it's too difficult to air roll while you're hovering, you don't have to air roll at first. Right? And then just go until you fall. And then if it's starting to get too easy, add some air rolls, right? Add a jump off the ceiling. Jump off the wall into an aerial, right? Flip into the air and hover, right? Mess around in the air. There's so many things that you can do in the air in this game, even without the ball, that, you know, you could do this for a long time and still find different ways to move your car about in the air, right? So for those who are on console and don't have workshop maps, this is yet another drill that you can do. Okay, this is how I started when I was on console. You see the circle that goes around the ball? What you're gonna want to do is put ball cam on, and you, without air rolling, I mean, you can air roll to keep your car facing the ball, but without air rolling, you're gonna want to just move in circles around the ball. It's gonna be difficult at first. I know it was when I first learned. Oh, no arrow on this. I know it was when I first learned. And then say you fall. If you fall, just go into the next direction. That way you're learning to mirror your movements and you're not just learning things one-sided, right? And then once that gets a little easy, then you're gonna want to do this. And you're gonna start air rolling. You can use directional. I personally don't play with directional air roll. It's preferred. If I'm going to teach someone from scratch, I would tell them they should learn both directional air rolls. So because I myself don't really know air rolls that well, I'm going to pawn that off to a video in the playlist, and they're going to basically explain how to learn directional air roll. But a lot of it is just repetition. So after you do that first drill, then you can start doing this, and if you fall, like I said, switch direction, okay? Simple enough, right? Next, for those who are on console and don't have workshop maps, you're gonna start at a boost pad, fly through the air, and you're gonna go to the mid boost, and from this mid boost, you are going to fly all the way over to the corner boost, and from this corner boost, you are gonna fly all the way across the field to this corner boost, and then from this corner boost, you're going to fly all the way to mid boost, and then back to this corner boost, and so on. You can do different variations of this. Sometimes I'll go from corner boost to mid boost to corner boost to the other corner boost, and then just mirror what I just did. Okay. Pretty simple stuff. Again, it's just practice and repetition. You're gonna have to get used to it. And I mean that's it. That's you just gotta do it over and over again and get used to it. It's time and effort that you have to put into this. Okay. So yet another thing that you can do, this is when I started learning directional air roll, this is what I used to do. So I would start in the net. You can do this just to practice your aerial control in general. Go out and follow this boost pad. See all these small boost pads? Follow them, and then fly back towards the net and hit the crossbar across the field, right? So I just went to my right, now I'll go back to my left. Follow those boost pads. Hit the crossbar. Okay, get back in there. And if that's starting to get too easy for you to hit the crossbar, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to practice going off the ramp like that, and then flying back out. And you can do it very quickly. It's pretty hard. Or you could go like this and try and stay up. That's a lot harder. In fact, I struggle with that sometimes. But so those are the different ones you can do. You can get creative. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll hop off the sidewalls, right? Flip around. And essentially you want to kind of make yourself mess up, right? Challenge yourself, because you'll get these blackout moments when you're playing where you just kind of like lose control of the car. You're like, oh, what do I do? And that means you're growing and you're learning new scenarios on how to control your car. Another thing that you can do is you can go into this one training pack that there is. I learned how to do this when I was on console as well. I want to see if it's still up here. It might not even still be up here, to be honest. Basic aerials. Oof, I don't even know if it's still up here. Might not be. Right here, KevPert aerial car control. I think this is it. So you go, I'll show you, just to double check that it's the right one. If it's not, then that's awkward. Yep, this is it. Okay? So the ball's just going to be sitting there. You jump across the field and you practice hitting the ball into the net. That's essentially all there is to it. This is one of the easier ways to start learning. First, you just want to practice hitting the ball. You know, if you can't hit the ball in the net right away, that's fine. You'll get better and better. It's a little awkward because I don't really do training packs like this, so you know, just practice hitting these shots. Oh my goodness. So that goes for anybody that is on console. That is what you can do, and that's the best way to do it. Obviously, you can mix in a few training packs. I showed you a bunch of training packs in the last video, but I'll just go over them real quick again. So here we have the ultimate warm-up, which is a great aerial warm-up. Aerial flip reset shots. Remember, you don't need to do flip resets on these. I started doing this pack and just doing normal aerials. Self-set backboard consistency, same thing. You don't need to do double taps here. If you want to try it, go ahead. But just try and hit the net with some good power. Backboard therapy, same thing. I think these ones bounce off the backboards though. Now these are kind of, double tap playground is a good one. These are kind of like high level ones. If you're lower level, Waitem has a bunch of few training packs. Different level of training packs for aerials. High aerials is good by Slay Protein. I would pause the video if I were you to get these codes because I'm not going to be putting them in the description. Sorry, I'm lazy. Now, on to my favorite part and how I have improved the most, because when I switched over to PC and started doing workshop maps, I went from Diamond 3 to C2, C3 almost instantly. That might not be the same thing for you, but I grinded a lot of time. This was during COVID, so I had basically enough time to almost spend as a full-time job playing Rocket League, getting better. Now this map pack is very popular. It's something that you probably know, and it's called Lethamir's Rings. Very simple, straightforward, fly through the rings, right? You don't have to air roll if you don't want to. I did it for the longest time not air rolling, but learning to air roll is very crucial in being accurate with your shots. It's better to air roll all the time in practice and then not have to in game than vice versa. Okay, so I'll just run through it a little bit until I die. We'll see what happens. That way you can see exactly what it's like. I don't want to take too long on this, but this is essentially how you can warm up. This is how you can improve your aerial abilities. It is the #1 way to improve your aerial skills. Now there's a few other rings maps. Lethamir has made quite a few different versions. They're all good. DMC has a rings map. I'm not a big fan of those ones. I stick to Lethamir's different ones. But, you know, it's all personal preference and what gives you the best challenge to comfortably improve your skills. Now, this is going to be frustrating at first. I remember the first time it took me to complete this. The first time I completed this, it took me about an hour to do everything completely, all the way through. And I had like 20-something deaths, 50 deaths, something like that. Now it takes me about, on a good day, it takes me about 12 or 13 minutes, I think. Anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes. On a bad day, you know, it might take me upwards to almost 20 minutes. Not usually, but that's like a very bad day, or if I've taken a break from Rocket League for a bit. You know, I listen to music and or podcasts and just vibe on this. It's very entertaining, for me at least. You know, you can just kind of go and get in the zone and practice. You can really work with your aerial car control. Now, another thing that I started doing recently was just doing the rings backwards with my car facing away from the camera. That way you can kind of learn the inverted controls of cars, and that eventually helps you with more advanced aerial mechanics. Yeah, I messed up there, and voila. So there you have it. Those are different aerial different methods to train your aerial. um, there's not much to it other than repetition and time. I can't really give you tips on how to control your car. You just kind of have to figure it out yourself. You kind of have to figure out and experiment on how air roll works, how to make those slight adjustments while you're air rolling, the different types of air rolls. Like, see, you can go wider. If I'm going for a shot, I can face my car backwards to slow it down a little bit, and then rotate back forward to continue my forward momentum. There's a bunch of different things and nuances that you're going to have to learn, but it's all part of the game, so I hope you enjoy. This one will probably take you a lot of time to master. In fact, I'm still learning to master my air rolls and aerial car controls, so I'm sure you will have a lot of time sunk into this eventually. You'll still be learning new things. In fact, I just decided to start learning flip resets, and I am already GC for about 8 seasons now. So, feel free to challenge yourself, do things that you think to be do things that you find fun, but try and stick to the basics of just car control in the air right now. Play around with the ball a little. I would not really get too much into ceiling shots and flip resets just yet if you're lower rank. I would wait until you're at the very least C3. Once you hit Champ 3, then I'd say, yeah, you can start messing around a little bit with ceiling shots. I'd say mainly double taps if you're trying to learn something in Champ. So the double tap is this. In fact, this is very useful if you can hit these consistently in Champ. I used to just come into free play and hit these over and over again. See, I haven't done them in quite a bit because now I'm learning flip resets, so it's a little odd for me, but I used to just come into free play and just practice double taps over and over again. That is probably my most recommended mechanic if you want to start learning semi-advanced aerial mechanics and you're in Champ. They're good, challenging mechanics to have, and they're very useful, and it really just, in general, improves your aerial car control and your backboard reads. So, that is that. Like I said, stay away from flip resets and ceiling shots if you're trying to improve until about GC1 level, maybe C3, if you're really trying to do it. But all in all, freestyling is going to rank you up. It's going to help you, but it's not mechanics that you need to necessarily learn right away. So, there you have it. That's how you can improve your aerial control. That's how you can improve your aerial abilities. Oh, also, air dribbles. Sorry, I forgot about air dribbles. Another very important skill to start learning around Champ 2, Champ 3. Maybe a tiny bit earlier is just basic air dribbles. I'll show you something here. You know, just a basic air dribble. Being able to kind of carry the ball across the field. You don't have to get the ball to stick on top of the car like you see a lot of freestylers do. Just a few basic touches towards the net is good enough. Learning how to kind of change the direction of the ball in the air. And, you know, that's it. So, good luck with this. This is probably going to be one of the more difficult things that you're going to be learning at this level. But I'm no doubt in my mind that with enough time and effort, anybody can learn these things. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.